I think if I like sit up here and I like scoot up, I look professional, don't I? So hi, I'm in my car again. I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the new upcoming album by 21 Pilots, Clancy. As a longtime fan, I'm talking like not too long, probably like ever since Blurryface. I was also on Dima.org, so I know like the whole trench lore. I know. And just from like the teasers and the hints and stuff, I don't think that we're gonna get like, I think it's gonna flop. It's gonna flop, babes. I'm so sorry. I don't want to say that, but like ever since Skilled and Icy, it's like Tyler has mellowed out as like a person, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Like, oh, okay, cool. You have like kids and stuff now. It's like that meme where it's like me starting my own thing because my life didn't end when I was like 13. It's cool. It's cool to see. But when you're trying to bring back a concept album or like do like part 2 of this whole mystery thing that everybody was a part of, when there's already been closure, pretty much, if you're not willing to go, okay, what makes a good concept album? All right, in my opinion, I'm not a musician. I'm trying to be. I'm gonna film probably my progress with that. But to me, what makes a good concept album, like Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Mr. Morale with Kendrick Lamar, excuse me, or just like anything like that, what makes a good concept album is your ability to have your audience go into that world or to create something familiar. It's almost like writing a book, really. You need to be able to make a place where your audience can feel comfortable. Or with Melanie's Portals. Melanie's always been good at concept albums, though, ever since Crybaby. So, when it comes to Trench, where do you see yourself? The whole, like, theme of 21 Pilots is that there's a whole world inside of your head. There's a war inside of your head. And you're not alone because we're all facing it, right? That was cool. That worked from their self-titled to Blurryface, right? And then Tyler decided to make it into a whole other like fictional, an actual realm, which can work. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see. Okay, is my camera gonna stay? Slay. Okay, so when it comes to creating this whole internal realm into something like physical, right? Because now we have a physical place. If you know about Dima.org, which is the website that Trench was being teased on, like the entire world of Trench, the bishops, the character of Clancy, another unnamed character. We're gonna get to that in a second. There are a lot of like letters and documents and pictures of what the realm of Trench looks like and the area of Dima like looks like, and it's beautiful. It's great. And when we got to those trailers of Trench is back, basically, that was great. It felt fulfilling to see because everything that we've theorized about, everything that we've drawn about as fans, right, as the clique, it's come to life, right? And then we got to the first music video, which was Overcompensate. I thought it was pretty good. It was I'll probably do breaking down that music video if this gets any hype, or if anyone wants it, let's just comment down below. I thought it was pretty good. It was a really good introduction to welcome back to Trench. Like, it was really good. Music-wise, I was kind of expecting something heavy, dirty, soulish, especially with Josh, like, going feral on the drums at first. And then it kind of, like, mellows out, and I'm like, all right. And then with like the lyrics, I'll probably get into that as well. It's like, it's kind of giving like, that's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I give it to Donald Trump? Probably not. Like, okay. Anyway, it's exposition. I get that. I get that it's exposition. And it's like nostalgia. So I'm letting them get away with that. The next 2 music videos, however, which were Next Semester. On Next Semester, I was listening to 21 Pilots like on shuffle, right, with my like Alexa or whatever. And I was like, okay, shuffle songs by 21 Pilots. And I was like, okay, shuffling songs. And when it got to next semester, I thought I was getting an ad for like, I don't know, like Target. Because girl, listen to it and tell me that's not like back to school ads. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Simone, but Werewolf Bites, that's like their whole like vibe because it's next semester and it's taking place on a college campus. Okay, I get that. However, going back to the realm of Dima, Trench, Clancy, going back to Trench, what does this say about Clancy at all? Is Clancy just like a regular college student? Was everything that like this was leading up to just like, it's all in his head? There's a difference between Dima is a realm in your head and we're going to explore that and conquer that. And Dima is just a realm in his head. And like, I had this whole dream and then I woke up, you guys. There's such like a huge difference between that. And the second option, which is what I think Tyler is going for, feels so unrewarding. Especially given that this has had like years in the making. And that you've dedicated like a full, like there's like a whole, like, there's like rivers and canyons and a whole like power system that got introduced and, Overcompensate and like the 9 bishops and da-da-da. For you to take all of that and then go, guys, Clancy's just a college student and everything's just all in his head. It's all a made up realm. What in the forced fic, blue-haired, tiger stripe boy is going on? Girl, get it together. I feel so mean saying that, but like, come on. Like, one thing that I did like about next semester though is how, I'm guessing that's how Tyler got the inspiration to do yellow dashes for the for like the rebels and all that, and for like the clique or whatever. And like, oh yeah, what I was wearing, the yellow dashes in the streets. Then they heard, hey kid, get out of the road, or whatever the fuck he said. Like, yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Sorry, the heat's getting at me. I'm in my hot car. But yeah, I think that that was a really creative concept of like, okay, like Tyler was like, one day he was just like in the road, or Clancy was one day just like in the road, and I prayed those lights would take me home. So like kind of like drawing a parallel to like car headlights and like a heavenly light when people are like saying that they're like seeing heaven when they're on the verge of death. Then I heard, hey kid, get out of the road, confirming that, oh, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh. I just thought about that one picture of Eminem where he's like, and then Tyler does the same thing, and like Mr. Beast, what is up with that pose? Girl. All right. Sorry. But yeah, I feel like that was like really interesting. And that was kind of a hint further into like, oh, this is all in his head and the yellow dashes and da-da-da. It's cool, but it's almost like, Then we got to like our newest single, which just came out. I was so disappointed. Do you want to know what that song sounds like? I'm not even going to put like a clip in there. I'm not going to put a clip in there. I'm not. If you want to know what that song sounds like, literally just look up like Hallmark Christmas movies or like Hallmark romance movies, Hallmark dramas or whatever, and listen to the music from there. I am not lying to you. That's exactly what it sounds like. And it's so, it's so humiliating because how do you as a duo go from, this song won't be on the radio, and that's okay. We're here for the few, the proud, the emotional, baby. You're not gonna hear this on the radio. Anyone from anywhere can do anything, and no one's gonna get my vibe, blah, 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 blah. And then immediately go into, like, commercial territory. Immediately go into what would be seen as, like, a #1 hit. Immediately go, like, High Hopes by Panic at the Disco type shit. Like, all right. Okay. To make a long story short, I'm scared. I'm scared, girl. I'm very scared. Werewolf Bites, you're being a hater. Yeah. I am. But I will say, I'm gonna give them like the benefit of a doubt. Although like my patience starts like severely dwindle with like the latest release of like, oh yeah, because how are you going to introduce an entire world? Could you imagine? Okay, to put this into perspective, take Melanie's latest album, Portals, right? Could you imagine if she was like follow the tunnel into the portal, blah 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 doo 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 doo, and then like the next like song after that was I went to school, and then I went to work, da 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 da, and then I had kids, and then I had fun, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then you're like, Melanie, what about the whole like portals and the realms and your whole like fairy creature that you made, your OC? And she's like, that was all in my head. That wasn't all in my head. That was all in my head. And you look dumb. But Melanie, you hyped it up. You made a whole like cinematic Marvel trailer for it. I don't care. I don't give a shit. That's the exact same vibe. It's the exact same thing. And it's Scaled and Icy all over again. It's Scaled and Icy all over again. It really is. I'm scared. I'm scared, girl. I'm scared. I'm scared. I think that like I hope that this album is good. Let me put that out there. I hope that it's good. Let me go lower. When they go low, when Tyler Joseph goes low, I go lower. I hope that I can listen to it. Because with Scaled and Icy, I think I had to literally like drop out halfway through because it was so corny and bad. It was so bad, girl. It was bad. But I hope it's good. I hope I can listen to this one. I'm scared. I'm scared. Also, I know that like Tyler wanted for Josh to try some directing, but girl, this makes me think that like for the entirety of Trench, Tyler just kept Josh locked into like a room and just like, do your drums, boy, do your drums. And then like Josh was like, okay, Saya, okay. And then Tyler was doing everything like solo basically. Because all of the like the next semester, what other music video with like the lemonade stand? Girl, the music video with the lemonade stand was like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? Where's Clancy? Is this Clancy? This is like the huge like rebel that's like was totally like, oh, we're gonna like fucking usurp the 9 bishops and we're gonna like bring order and balance, blah blah blah, Star Wars, Dune, blah blah blah, whatever. Like that's him. That's our Katniss Everdeen? Sure. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Another like good concept album that like went all the way through, that also falls like the example of like, oh, but it can be I can make a concept album that's like based on real life, and it can be like, oh yeah, it's like kind of like a medium between like fiction and reality. One concept album that did this very well, that relates to what I'm doing right now because I'm sweating my buns off, is A Fever You Can't Sweat Out by Panic! At the Disco. A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is one of my favorite concept albums of all time because they kept the aesthetic going for merch, for all their music videos, for everything. I felt like I could go there as an audience member. I felt like I could go into their world. And number 2, it felt familiar. It explored themes that I was familiar with. When it comes to Trench, I felt like I could go there. But then Skillet and Icy came out, and I'm like, where are we? And now, like, the singles are coming out, and I'm like, okay, when the trailer came out, I'm like, okay, I think I'm coming back to somewhere where I can, like, kind of settle myself in. And then we immediately swerve into, guys, there is no Dima. There are no bishops. There's nothing here. Not even, like, glitches into, like, oh, yeah, like, a different reality. An example of, like, a music video where maybe Clancy would be like, oh, we're going into this like other realm, but like I don't know it, and it's like a wavering thing between like fiction and reality. A good example of this could be the Birthright music video by Black Polish, in which Black Polish's character is in this fanciful world with like floating chairs, and it's almost a dream world. And then you see them wake up, and it's like, oh, we're in reality. And we see them like waver in between both of them, both of these worlds effortlessly. And we feel like we could be in either. So yeah. To make a long story short, they're flopping, girl. I'm scared.